and gentlemen, we are live. The regular season has concluded. We are now on to the NFL playoffs. And if I would have asked you 1 year ago today, do you think that we would have been standing right here getting ready for a home playoff matchup at Gillette Stadium? Maybe. But at Gillette Stadium, I probably would have said no. I would have been like, we'd be the 7th seed. We're going in. But no, we're the 2 seed. We're gearing up for what I think is a pretty easy matchup. The Los Angeles Chargers, who were the 7th seed for a reason. They could have jumped and got the 6th seed. They could have jumped and tried to get to 5. But they tanked because they are cowards. And they said, we want the New England Patriots in the first round. Well, guess what? You got to come in because it's going to be a wind chill of 11 degrees and 25 miles an hour. So good luck, LA. Good luck. And we got a great show for you. Previewing everything. Got some great news that I saw from the injury report and from Mike Vrabel and, of course, the player himself. But that's how we start off every Patriots Today Live. Shout out your city. I see 82 people in the chat right now. Nick Flagg all the way in Bangor, Maine. Shane Holland, let's go Boston. Yeah, Nick Flagg 1 year ago, we fumbled away the first pick. You could take Joe Milton for that one. Larry Hill in Fayetteville, North Carolina. May Prods, I'm in Tomball, Texas. Elite Burrow, shout out to a Bengals fan in here in Cincinnati. Don't eat Skyline, it's disgusting. Nicholas Trill, Cold, Ohio. Hey, it's Ohio. Vidarian Lowe, Lawrence, Massachusetts. Calvin, South Portland, Maine. Bishop, Roger Bishop in Auburn. Snap Time in Boston. O-Dog, New Hampshire. For the booze, shout out Utah. Look, Nick Flagg, I'm not from Massachusetts. Bangor, I actually applied to a job there when I was looking for sports jobs coming out of college. But I get things wrong. I'm not good at spelling. Or I just talk. Rick Baum in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Elite Burrow, let's go Bengals. Look, man, if you're going to root for a team since your team's not in the playoffs, come over to the Patriots, my guy. Adriana is in Columbus. Tyrell Melton in North Carolina. Jordan, Canada, Ontario. I see you, Hazel. Out in Dallas. Me too. GG, Indiana. Adriana, Columbus. Double S. Yeah, Skyline Chili is disgusting, man. It's so gross. Tanner in Newport, New Hampshire. Football in Dover, Delaware. That's my hometown. What you doing out there? Shout out. It's probably cold out there in Dover. What's the weather out there in Dover? It's 75 degrees here in Dallas. And back home in Dover, it's 50. Wow. Shout out to Jonathan's Landing Golf Course. Yeti's in Rhode Island. Ramstein. Skyline is not awesome. I'd rather have La Rosa's. Elite Burrow, I'm a Patriots fan for this playoff, but Bengal fan for life. Who dey? Hey, look, man. During the 2021, after we got eliminated, I was rooting for the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow. I mean, going to Kentucky, being 45 minutes away, I was rooting for him. 80 in Florida, double S, you lucky SOB. We got 108 people in the chat right now. We got to get those like numbers up. We only got 26. What are we doing? JD, what are we doing out here? We got to get hype. It's playoff season. We got to take it from 3rd gear, go into 4th, and then if you're driving a NASCAR, because the next gen cars go into 5th gear, going into 5th. Can't imagine a world where Alper ends up on 92.9 every day. 92.9 Tom FM, Dover, Delaware. That's what the station is. I think that's still the station. I hope so. 102.1. Nick's Place is the worst restaurant in Mass. -6 to Sobe. Oh, -6 Celsius. I don't do the metric system. Look, man, I'm super excited, and I'll be honest. I am not nervous whatsoever. Not nervous. Nah, Double S. We got way more than 100 people. We got over 100 people. We got to get more likes than just 50. Drake needs the MVP. Look, Andrew Whitworth is little. I'm not going to say that word. He's a little B word. I'll say that. And he's like, wow, people are so sensitive when I say that Matthew Stafford is MVP. I hope Jackson Durham, who's the Rams channel host, which we just started a Rams channel, so shout out to him, doing his favorite team. And I was talking to him, and I sent him a picture. And Andrew Whitworth tweeted out, let's list stats back and forth. Oh, wow, cool. I bet you find some good ones. I do too. Who gives a shit? End of the day, I could choose whoever I think deserves the MVP, and you can too. And he said 9 equals MVP. Suck on that. Well, Whitworth, how about you suck on this? You suck. You ring chased because you were a loser your whole entire career. And guess what? Drake Maye's the MVP. Double S, I mean, what do you expect Tom Brady to do? He's jealous. He's mad his records are already being beaten. I love Brady to death. But come on. He's getting jealous. He sees the records like Drake Maye already beat his passer rating record that quickly. Second year. I don't know if we're ever going to get 6 rings, but we'll see. We'll see. If you're ready for the playoffs, man, like I was saying, we got to gear it up. Spam your NEs in the chat. Well, Cam's big mad. Cam's a rage baiter. I mean, have you guys seen the video? Have you seen the video of him talking about Keon Coleman? Where he's like, cookies, you got to come in. And the team's relying on you, but you're playing like a bum. And then he does the little like that. I mean, that makes me laugh every time, but I can't stand Cam. At kickoff time will be 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Rams. Ethan, how long am I on for? Well, I'm glad you asked because we got a good show for you guys today. We have 3-segment live. We're talking about some injury news, and I'm talking about the Patriots run game because, woo, it is coming together at the perfect time. And teams poaching the Patriots. So, guys, we got some good news with the injuries in the run game, but also some bad news because with the Patriots being 14-3, and being a successful team, other teams that are terrible, like the Arizona Cardinals, like, well, the Baltimore Ravens, who just fired John Harbaugh, which is absolutely insane, but teams that have head coaching options, teams that have coaching, like, vacancies, not even a head coach, they're going to start calling up good teams and be like, hey, you want to come in and be the coach of my team? So it's not great. And then, of course, we'll talk about that. And then we got the mailbag. Use hashtag Patriots. You can see that right there. Or you can super chat to get on. You can super chat to get on the show. So those are the 3 segments. And Berserk, we haven't gotten into our cuts yet. So you didn't miss a single thing. You did not miss a single thing. But to start the show, we got to get 10 more likes. We're at 53. Let's get to 60. Let's get to 60 so we can start the show. Let's get to 60. Your boy Trav, I see you in there. I still get Corrupted Savage, no Jags or Bills. Tyler Loop needs to sleep with one eye open in Baltimore. Yeah. What's good, Angel? Double S, stop trolling. Hi, Angel. Always making me blush. Stop trolling, Double S. No space between the hashtags. You drive me insane. What's going on, Dark Lord? Patriots 10, Drake, Maye. How are you trolling? Because you didn't put the right hashtag. If only Mr. Snoopy was here. He would do it wrong 17 times before he gets it right. Hashtag, see, there you go. Colby Heath put it right. There we go. There we go. Hashtag Patriots. Ed Colby, I'm glad you asked that. Question, are we going to get Robert Spillane back? Interesting question. Everybody knows it's hashtag Dolphins. Well, if we were watching Dolphins Today with Nick Roloff, it would be hashtag Dolphins. But we are Patriots, so we are going to use hashtag Patriots on today's show. I'm wearing pants. Hashtag, I mean, I could jump. You could see that right there. I'm wearing Nike pants. You're not going to like the shirt I'm wearing underneath this Patriots hoodie, but it is what it is. Shout out NBA Cup champions. 98 people and under 70 likes. Got to get one more. We should get Max Crosby. Please don't jump. Look, I'm not that heavy. I'm like 200 pounds. I'm like 200 pounds. But we get to 70 likes. And the people are waiting. There we go, your boy Trav. Keep getting your questions in. We're going to start the show. And we're going to talk about the good injury news because one person's asking the question. And I see you, West Philly game. Appreciate you coming in. But let's talk about it. Some of the injury news that the Patriots are getting in. Oh, I've been waiting for this one for the last 5 weeks. Playoff football. The Patriots host the Los Angeles Chargers this weekend, and we could be seeing one of the star players, Robert Bobby Spillane, could be returning this Sunday. And oh boy, when the captain returns, the Patriots are getting healthy just at the right time. Welcome to Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Spillane returning, and on the back half, it seems like the Patriots' run game has finally started to kick it into gear. At the beginning of the season, it was looking pretty bad, but now, good luck stopping the two-headed monster. Before we get into everything, I just wanted to say we started a new channel here at Chat Sports. Patriots Today has been a channel for a couple years now. I took this over at 25,000 subs. We've jumped it all the way to 42. We have just started a Chargers Now channel hosted by Will Ortner, and they are getting off to a hot start, beating us in the subs. They got 35. Right now, we have 0. So, I don't want to hear it from Will Ortner. I don't want to hear it from the Chargers teams because they're a low channel. They're just getting started, but we got to show the people who we really are. So if you love the Patriots, if you want content every single day, 365, go ahead, hit that sub button right now. All right, so the good news that we have been seeing is that most likely we are going to see Robert Spillane back on Sunday, as he told the Patriots media on Friday and also literally today on Wednesday that he is excited and he is very, very close to returning. This comes from Jack Allmer, and I saw this on Friday. He returned to practice, and you can see right here, despite missing the last 3 games, Spillane is still the team's leader in tackles. He also has recorded a sack, a forced fumble, 5 pass deflections, and 2 picks for 70 yards this season. And then he talked to the media. He talked to the media on Friday and also on Wednesday, and here's what he had to say. I'm fired up. Every day I come in here looking to get back on the field, preparing. I think we're progressing in the right direction, and I can't wait to get back out there and to help these guys on Sunday. And he would be a huge key factor for the Patriots if we could see him back on the field. For one, he wears the green dot. He is the main captain on the team. He is the Mike backer. 97 tackles, 2 tackles on the year, 76.3 PFF grade. But you can see it right there. He hurt his foot in the Giants game on December 1st, and he hasn't played a game since. Spillane, he's had an amazing year. Coming over from the Raiders, I remember talking to Mitchell Renz about this right after he got signed. He was like, he was going to be a great player. We are going to miss him, but we didn't want to pay him. And the Patriots were willing to pay him, and it has paid off. But since that he has been ruled out, the Patriots defense has completely suffered. It's also suffered because of the loss of Milton Williams, which, guess what? He is also back on the field. But you could see the missed tackles. I'm only going through 4-game sample sizes because I didn't want to just go out and look week 1 all the way into week 17 or week 18. But you can see right here, weeks 10 through 13, the Patriots were only averaging 4.75 missed tackles per game. Then Robert Spillane went out. And then once he came out, the number increased a ton. Weeks 15 through 18, 9.5 missed tackles per game. Coincidence? I don't really think so. I don't think so at all. When you take a look at the Patriots linebacker depth chart, which Jelani Tavai is not on IR, that is from earlier this season. Robert Spillane, Christian Ellis, Marte Mapu, Jack Gibbons, and Chad Muma, who we claimed off of waivers a couple of weeks ago. This linebacker crew is good. It's got a decent amount of depth. Marte Mapu can also drop back in coverage. Jack Gibbons has been a solid player, and so is Christian Ellis, being that hard, physical hitter on the Patriots. But I do got to give a shout out to our guy, Jack Gibbons, because he took over as the main linebacker wearing that green dot while Robert Spillane was out. And he has played very, very, very good. In his time where he took over, he had 29 tackles, 1 sack, and a PFF grade of 64.3. I got to give Jack Gibbons his flowers. He's only on a 1-year deal, so maybe he proved himself. He can get that extra contract extension from the Patriots once we get into the offseason in March. But the big thing, Bobby Spillane's back, and the run defense gets an incredible boost. The main pass defense gets an incredible boost. We're not going to see any missed tackles. We're not going to see as many going into Sunday, and especially now when these games mean more than anything, because should I say the stupid question? Is this a must-win game? Duh. It's a playoff game. So with him being back for the playoffs is huge for the Patriots. They're getting healthy just at the right time. If you're ready for Robert Spillane to come back and be on the football field, go ahead, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. Let's show the whole entire world. Maybe Robert Spillane is seeing this video. Maybe he's watching it. So go ahead, hit that thumbs up icon and show how much love we have for him. Coming up on the back half of the show, we're going to talk about the run game breaking out, because not only is Travion Henderson having a great season, but Ramondre, these last couple of weeks, woo! Good luck stopping him. But before we do that, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard, but in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every weekend and elite hoops action almost every single night, the action never stops, and Prize Picks lets you take control. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you can cash in. We got a new feature. Prize Picks now offers early payouts. If your player gets off to a hot start, you have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. And I have a lineup for this weekend's games. I got the more on Trevor Lawrence passing yards, 230.5. I think he might go off against this Buffalo defense. And then for this game, the less. You know how I feel about Jalen Hurts. He's terrible. He doesn't complete passes in the second half of games. Take the less. It's a no-brainer. And Ramondre Stevenson, give me the more. They put the projection way low, 38.5 rushing yards. Do they know that he's the main back? I don't think so. Give me the more on that one. You can make a lineup just like that when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Let's go into talking about just how the running backs are starting to dominate. Ramondre and also Travion Henderson. And just like at the beginning of this video where I said, well, the injury news is good. The Patriots are getting healthy at the perfect time. Harold Landry was back at practice on Wednesday. Robert Spillane was back at practice. We see Milton Williams and Will Campbell back on the football field. Well, now the running backs are also starting to kick it into gear, and they're starting to look better than ever. This is at the perfect time, right ahead of the playoffs. You go in with that momentum that you saw against Week 17 against the New York Jets, Week 18 against the Miami Dolphins. I know it's 2 mid-teams, but still, you get that confidence going into next week. Here's what Mike Vrabel had to say just about how good the run game has been. We felt like we've gotten into a little flow with him and Travion, Ramondre, and figuring out where that balance was. They did a great job. We need both of them. We need Dearness Johnson, but figuring out the balance with Ramondre and Travion, and those guys both taking advantage of the opportunities that they have, I feel like that's a good flow by Josh McDaniels and Tony Dews play calling the game. And Tony Dews, if you didn't know, is the running backs coach. And I call in the game and getting those guys in there. And I'll just ask, do you remember back in November before the Tampa Bay Bucks game, or if we go back to the Carolina Panthers game or even the Steelers game, how bad the run game was, it was one of the worst in the NFL. If you go back, you could see a video I made of how bad the running game was. They averaged 3.9 yards per carry in November, which was 25th in the NFL. The offensive line couldn't find the hole for the offense. You could not break outside and busted out a 50-yard run. Well, since then, it's changed. In Week 16, 23 carries for 79 yards. You still scored a touchdown. Week 17, which is when they started to break out, 36 carries for 155 yards, 1 touchdown. And then against Miami, you couldn't stop a single soul on that offense. 34 carries, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns from Ramondre, and 2 touchdowns from Travion Henderson. But I really want to focus in just on the resurgence of Ramondre Stevenson and how good he truly has been the last couple of weeks. He has missed a couple games with a toe injury, but since coming back from that toe injury, it looks like night and day, and I'm getting vibes of 2022 when he rushed for 1,000 yards. If you look at this tweet from Graham Wilker, he calculated the stats before the bye and after the bye, and you can see that right there. 101 carries, only 324 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a yards per carry of 3.2. But after the bye, after the Giants game, 29 carries for 22%, 278 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 9.6 yards per carry. He has turned it up, and he feels confident when he's running the ball. But you can't forget about Travion Henderson either. He did have that concussion that he dealt with in the Ravens game. Somehow he came back and played, but he can break out for a 50-yard run. We have seen it time in and time out, how he is breaking free for a big yard run against the Bills and against the Bucs and against every single team. You cannot forget about Travion. They got a little thing going. Now that you have thunder and lightning, where you have the downhill runner in Ramondre, you have a huge speed back in Travion. You can use that to your advantage against the Los Angeles Chargers. But the big thing, I'm going to reiterate this because I don't forget things much. Don't fumble the ball. If I see Ramondre fumble the ball, I'm going to have an aneurysm. So please, just hold on to the ball. Ramondre is running confident. But the second someone pops it out and he fumbles, it's going to go right back to what we saw all the way in Week 3 of this NFL season against the Steelers. And we cannot have that if we want to make a deep playoff run. Hold on to the ball, Ramondre. Please, you're playing great. You're playing great out there. Don't forget to hit that sub button. We are trying to beat the Chargers now. It's a new channel here, Chat Sports. So if you're a Chargers fan, go ahead. Support the company. Support Chat Sports. Go ahead, hit them with a sub button. And we're talking Patriots all the time, so you can sub right here on Patriots Today. And as always, let's go Pats. Boom. I'd always just pause. Oh, yeah, that was the end. I'll add them. Just so we don't get confused. What's going on, Hayden? Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think Tyler Shough has got that locked up. Tyler Shough has got that locked up. We hit the money. No, we didn't get any supers. Charlicia, love the question. What does the offense need to do to win against the Chargers? Love that question. That could go in our mailbag. Is Jennings hurt? Jennings is on IR, Trav. Is Terrell Jennings eligible to come off IR? I think he's missed the past 4 games. Terrell Jennings. We placed him on IR 3 weeks ago, so he's eligible to come back after this game. He's eligible to come back after this game. So he missed the Ravens game, he missed the Jets game, and he missed the, game? The Dolphins game. So, yeah. He will be out the next 4 games. Yeah, he was placed on IR. Or maybe he's eligible to come back. Because that looks like he missed 4 games. It looks like he missed the last 4 games. Interesting. Interesting. What's going on, Filbert? Fat Jones, the playoff Pats are back. And So is your cousin Marcus, because he's been going off. People are calling the Seahawks defense the Legion of Boom 2.0 berserk. They are filthy. That defense is threatening. If there's going to be one team that I'd be scared of in the postseason, it would be the Seattle Seahawks. The question is, can Sam Darnold win? No. Probably not, but you never know. But I'm glad they're in the NFC. What do I got, Jags or Bills? I want to say Bills just because of Josh Allen, but I think Trevor Lawrence is going to get it done. The Bills. If we win and the Jags win, we play the Jags. Leaf. Add hashtag Patriots. Add hashtag Patriots if you want to have that question in. I love that question about Kai Williams. You got to use hashtag Patriots. Hashtag Patriots. I ain't scared of the Broncos. I ain't scared of the Broncos. Thank you, Roger Bishop. What is my ideal Super Bowl opponent? We'll talk about that in the mailbag. Barkley for 80 yards. Yeah, I know. 1, 2, 3 martial artist. I know. You should use that argument. I don't. No, the Broncos' offense is terrible. Bo Nix is a check down Charlie. We'll talk about it if we play him. And I'm going to bring up every single passing chart that he has ever had this season. And it's going to be hilarious. Looks good to me. This is why we trust Jack. I don't care if the Broncos have one of the best defenses in the NFL. How are you going to score if you have Bo Nix as your quarterback? Dark Lord, take them less. Take the less on Jalen Hurts. Take the less on Jalen Hurts. Trust me. Trust me. I'm sorry. I just got a text. I'm just looking. Jesus. All right. Keep getting your... There we go. Perfect. Perfect. I like... Hashtag Patriots. Goal line weaknesses for the Hawks. Look, I'm worried about the Chargers right now. Ask me weaknesses about the Chargers. Ask your weaknesses about the Chargers. Because with the Hawks, that is 3 games. That's 3 wins away from after this one. Watch out for Patrick Surtain. Yeah, he's a good corner. Cool. What about? I'm supposed to be scared of Marvin Mims. Come on. All right. Let's get into if Carolina somehow. No, Ramstein. If Carolina won, I'd probably stop watching football. Let's get into the second cut. So we had the good news with Bobby Spillane, Robert Spillane probably returning, but we got some bad news. It's not necessarily bad news, but this could be bad news because some coaches could be leaving the Patriots after this season. So let's get into it. Let's talk about possibly losing some of our coaches. The Patriots are in the playoffs. They are 14-3 going into the NFL playoffs, but with the regular season ending, some teams, well, they're terrible, and they fired their coaches, and they're looking for new coaches. And what are they going to go after? Probably some of the good teams' coaches. So some of the Patriots coaches are being looked at for other NFL jobs. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and we already got one. Thomas Brown, the Patriots passing coordinator, has been requested for a head coach job. And I hope it doesn't happen, but this is kind of what you have to expect. When you are 14-3, teams are going to try and poach your coaching staff from here to here to here and try to request an interview over and over and over. It happens every single year. When you look at the team like the Giants, when you look at the team like the Cardinals, if you look at the team like the Titans, they're all looking for head coaches. And when you have a really good team with assistants that want to get promoted, that's usually what happens. But I'm worried about the playoffs. But you also have to look at next year also. So if you don't want any coach to leave the Patriots, if you want this coaching staff to stay right here, go ahead, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video to show Patriots Nation that we don't want anybody going anywhere. Maybe Mike Vrabel can convince them to try to get a contract extension instead. Let's talk about Thomas Brown. So the Cardinals requested the Patriots passing game coordinator for their head coaching job. And you can see right here, Brown has played a huge part in the Patriots 2025 turnaround. I mean, obviously, calling passing plays for Drake Maye, helping Josh McDaniels and this offense. He is play calling, and he was also an interim head coach last year for the Chicago Bears, along with learning experience under Sean McVay and Mike Vrabel. This is what Neeson, NESN, if you guys didn't know the Boston outlet, I'm sure all of you do. This is what they had to say about Thomas Brown. Brown, 39, has become one of the most sought-after assistant coaches in football, having spent significant time learning under Sean McVay during his stint with the Rams from 2020 to 2022. He's been named one of the top offensive coordinators to the league in a survey run by the NFLPA following his lone season with the Carolina Panthers, and earned the interim head coaching title during his season with the Chicago Bears, and come over to the Patriots this season. There's a reason why the Patriots' offensive game is extremely good. It's not only because of Josh McDaniels. It's not only because of Drake Maye, but Thomas Brown has been one of the more underrated play callers for the Patriots. He has an offensive genius in his head, and he knows how to call plays. So if the Patriots lost him to possibly a head coaching job, which is very much a possibility, it would be a huge loss. It would be gigantic. And I don't want him to leave, but it's only been the Cardinals so far that have requested for a head coaching job. But once the season completely ends and we get into the offseason and when teams are going to start to look at, all right, who's going to be an offensive coordinator? Who's going to be a defensive coordinator? Trying to get their assistants. I think there's a bigger threat for the Patriots to leave than just Thomas Brown. And one of the main guys is the guy that's playing, that guy is calling defensive plays for the Patriots, and that's Zach Kerr. I think that he could get defensive coordinator looks from multiple teams around the NFL. Because right now, he is only the linebackers coach for the Patriots. But he is the de facto play caller because Terrell Williams has been out, trying to battle and hopefully is succeeding in fighting prostate cancer. So he has been the de facto defensive coordinator. But it is obviously Terrell Williams' job once he comes back healthy because he earned that. So Zach Kerr, he could want a different job. He could want to get that promotion and show hey, I've been a defensive coordinator this year. I can prove that, hey, this is what I do. I should be an actual defensive coordinator. Maybe not for the Patriots, but some other team. And Jeremy Fowler, he actually agrees. This is what he said in his article. What New England does with its defensive coordinator job will be interesting. Terrell Williams missed the season to focus on prostate cancer recovery. Zach Kerr has acquitted himself as the interim to a point where he could garner interest as a primary play caller elsewhere. But the Patriots have a really good thing going, so perhaps Mike Vrabel can find a way to incorporate both coaches while acknowledging Kerr's ascension. And I will say, there is no doubt what Zach Kerr has done has been incredible. You could see the stats right here for the Patriots defensively. 295 yards per game allowed, 8th in the NFL. Under 200 passing yards, 9th. The rushing yards is top 10. Points per game is top 5, and the third down is 12th. He has been incredible at calling plays. Look, I have a problem with him calling zone plays all the time, but when you keep winning, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I truly think that if Terrell Williams comes back, it's his job. But if not, Kerr has to be promoted to defensive coordinator. If Terrell Williams has to step down as DC, if they do not go with Zach Kerr, he will leave. He will go be a defensive coordinator somewhere else because he has deserved the DC job. Because I'm pretty sure the Washington Commanders just fired their defensive coordinator. So they have an opening. And they have a decent team. He could go be that defensive coordinator, bring that team up back to the playoffs or what they were in 2024, and then immediately, good 1 year with them, go be a head coach somewhere. But if he sticks with the linebacker coaching job and Mike Vrabel hires someone else, that would honestly that would tick me off, and I would go look for somewhere where I could get a promotion. So I think he should be the defensive coordinator 1,000%. He's proved himself, and he also works with this team very well and works with Mike Vrabel very well. So I'll ask you guys, go down in the comments section right now. Should Zach Kerr be promoted to defensive coordinator if possible? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. There's also a scenario where they're not going to promote Zach Kerr. They're not going to go with him as de facto defensive coordinator. They're going to go out and hire someone else. And there's been one guy, well, I'm linking another guy to him, but there's one guy that has been linked to the New England Patriots. We'll get to that in a second, but first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. Whether you're starting a new routine or, making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard, but in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every single weekend and elite hoops action almost every night, the action never stops. And Prize Picks lets you take control. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you could cash in. We got a new feature on Prize Picks. It has early payouts. If your player gets off to a hot start, you now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. And if you see my lineup before, I still am going with this one for the weekend of the playoff games, and I got the more on Trevor Lawrence, 230.5 passing yards. He's been going off as of late. Give me the less on Jalen Hurts at 205.5 passing yards because he sucks. He can't complete a pass in the second half. Go with the less. Trust me. And then Ramondre Stevenson, I think he's the number one back over Travion Henderson. So give me the more on his rushing yards at 38.5. You can make a lineup just like that when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. So let's talk about that guy that has been linked to the Patriots by Evan Lazar. And Evan Lazar just isn't some beat reporter. Evan Lazar works as the team reporter for the New England Patriots. And you can see his tweet with the Browns moving on from Kevin Stefanski, which they fired a couple days ago. He wouldn't be surprised if some Cleveland coaches join the Patriots staff in the future. And the Browns defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, is one to watch for. He was a senior advisor for Mike Vrabel when he was in Tennessee. So there you have it. Jim Schwartz has been linked to the Patriots. And we've seen Jim Schwartz in the past. If you're a football fan, you know that he has been a head coach in the NFL before, and he is a defensive mastermind. He has been a very good defensive coach. Now, I will say he wasn't that much of a successful head coach, as you can see from his resume, but we're not looking for him to be a head coach. We're looking him to be a DC. You can see right there, Detroit Lions coach, 2009 to 2014, where I think they made the playoffs once. Tennessee Titans senior defensive assistant, 2021 to 2022, where he was working with head coach Mike Vrabel, and then the Browns DC from 2023 to the present. Look, it's the Browns. I know they suck, but their defense is one of the best in the NFL. The Patriots had to go up against this defense, and guess what? Myles Garrett just set the sack record in a single season with 23, and who was defensive coordinator? Jim Schwartz. Total defense, 4th in the NFL. 3rd in passing defense at a 22.3 opponent points per game. You know how bad that offense has to be for you to allow 22 points per game? And you still are one of the worst teams in football. You have that good of a defense. They need to fix their offense so bad because their defense is a threat for sure. I mean, they beat so many teams. They beat the Packers. I think who else? They beat a whole bunch of teams. I can't remember, but still. But Mike Vrabel loves his connections. He loves bringing guys back where he worked with over and over and over. He's not going to go out and find a brand new head coach, or not a head coach, a brand new assistant. He's going to go with guys that he has worked with in the past. And when you look at the Patriots coaching staff, these are all of the coaches that have worked with him when he was with the Tennessee Titans from 2018 to 2023. You can see the DC, defensive coordinator, the running backs coach, the wide receivers coach, the assistant offensive line coach, the safeties coach, the conditioning coach, the director of sports performance, and the assistant special teams coach all have been coaches from the Tennessee Titans. I will say, if you were to hire Jim Schwartz, this would be a solid hire if you go after him to go for defensive coordinator. I think he would help this team. I think he'd elevate it because you see what he is doing with the Cleveland Browns. Make it a top 5 defense in the NFL. With the talent that the Patriots have on the defense, with guys like Milton Williams, guys like Christian Barmore, Harold Landry, Robert Spillane, Marcus Jones, Christian Gonzalez, he could elevate this defense even more than Zach Kerr could. But I also think, and I'm still going to go on this kind of tangent that I've been going on for the past couple of months, that I'm still would not be shocked if Shane Bowen ends up being the defensive coordinator for the Patriots. I don't want it to happen, but he was the defensive coordinator for the Titans when Mike Vrabel was head coach. They are very close, and they called each other best friends. So I think Vrabel might throw him a bone and hire him for the Patriots because he got fired from the Giants. Why? Because he wasn't that very good. But I'm all for Jim Schwartz. But if you guys would like Jim Schwartz on the Patriots, if you want to poke him away from the Cleveland Browns, go ahead, hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, and while you're down there, also go and hit that sub button. We are going to be live for Patriots against the Chargers. It's going to be a late one, probably 6:30. I think we're going to do 90 minutes beforehand. Give a little elevation for the playoffs because it's playoff football, baby. Hit that sub button, and as always, let's go Pats. Ooh, it's hot in here. If the Patriots got Myles Garrett. What's good, Chris Clark? How we doing? Champion boxer, there we go. Score some touchdowns. Flag football. When do you get to play tackle football? What's up, Nest Force? We need to keep building in the draft and keep our spending as low as possible. Well, we're going to have to pay Gonzo. And then the year after, we're going to have to pay Drake. Oh, Boston fans, I think Harold Landry is going to play. I'm pretty sure he's going to play, but we'll have to see what the injury designation is once we get to Friday. We'll see. Last day of intermediate. Well, keep grinding. Keep grinding, my guy. No supers. A lot of questions? There we go. Same thing, yeah. No matter what, we cannot do what Minnesota did and splurge on free agents. The Vikings are a good team. I don't think you guys realize that. You too, champion boxer. You too. Ramstein, I don't think you realize how good the Vikings are. The Vikings are an amazing team. They have one of the best defenses in the NFL. They're just a quarterback away. Like, I don't think you realize how bad J.J. McCarthy is. He's awful, dude. If they had a good quarterback, they would probably have 12 wins. Same with the Falcons. They had a good quarterback. Well, no, Falcons was coach. Vikings was quarterback. I wouldn't say their O-line's bad. I just think 9 was terrible. O-line was okay. It was just 9. We did steal their center away from them, Garrett Bradbury. I know Sam Darnold played for the Vikings before going to the Steelers. Sam Darnold won 14 games. Which is crazy. He won back-to-back years of 14 games. Sam Darnold. Ethan, I am not a Celtics fan. Sorry. Could not do it. Couldn't do it on the Jets. Was seeing ghosts. I am only a Patriots fan, Cyrus. There we go. Tony coming in with a 2. Finns, I haven't seen a practice. I haven't seen an injury report yet. If there is, we will get that on screen for you ASAP. I do not see a Patriots injury report. But they were at practice today, and I can say that Robert Spillane practiced. I can say that Landry practiced. 4 people are sick. That's it. Morgan Moses, Garrett Bradbury, Vidarian Lowe, and Anthony Jennings all are sick, and they're all out with illnesses. Sim, it's going to be colder than 30. It's going to be a wind chill of 20 degrees. Maybe even colder. Maybe even colder. The toughest potential matchup for the Patriots in the playoffs? Yeah, the Bills. I was so scared that the Bills were going to lose on purpose, and I was so scared. There are a lot of quarterbacks better than Bo Nix. I did see that Amarian Hampton didn't practice today. We got your question, my guy. That'll get into the mailbag about Kyle Williams. For sure. Bills are going to choke as always. We'll see. You'll like my social plants. I made them myself. Justin Jefferson's terrible. Not Justin Jefferson. What am I talking about? J.J. McCarthy. Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in football. I would take him on the Patriots in a heartbeat. Whoo! Check yourself. Come on. Ramstein, he's on a rookie contract. He's a Patriot for the next 4 years. We ain't extended Borgalis. All righty. Are we ready? Your boy Drew, how we doing? Glad to see you. Glad to see you. You're coming in just in time while we're getting our mailbag. Are the Patriots? Is Kentucky going to cover the 12.5 tonight? That's what I hope. That's what I hope. Chris Clark, you let me know. All righty. Yes, sir. We're back in the playoffs, baby. We're back in the playoffs, Drew. We're back. We're back. All righty. Let's get into the mailbag, ladies and gentlemen. Answering questions from a Pats fan to you Pats fans. Let's get into it. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. And what we do on every single Wednesday live show, we got a mailbag answering every single Patriots question. And this week, it's a playoff edition of the mailbag because the Patriots are taking on the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday Night Football on NBC. 3.5-point favorites for the Patriots. I think that they are going to rout the Chargers. I'm not nervous at all, and maybe that should be a problem because I'm not nervous. But I don't think you guys would be that nervous too. I think the Chargers are the 7th seed for a reason. But you guys let me know down in the comments section who you got. And if you're watching our live show, go down in the live chat, spam your NEs. Let me know who you got. If you're one of the lone Chargers that are watching today's video, well, Chat Sports just made a Chargers channel. So go and subscribe to that channel right now. All right, let's get into the mailbag. Anthony Sanchez coming in with a $2 super chat. Shout out to you, my guy. Who is your what is number 1 in your draft board? Well, I have a couple people that I look at, and wide receiver, obviously, or offensive lineman. I really haven't looked at edge rushers too much. I like Keldrick Falk, but I don't think he's going to fall all the way to the 30 spot or the 31 spot where it's going to be. So wide receiver, I mean, he's probably not going to fall either, but I love Makai Lemon out of USC. I think he's an amazing receiver. I think he'd be a perfect fit with Drake Maye and the Patriots. We just got to hope that he falls. And for an offensive lineman, this guy I think is going to be there at the 32nd spot if the Patriots win the Super Bowl, of course. Monroe Freeling out of Georgia. He's a right tackle. I think he would be a perfect fit. Not only because he's a right tackle, Morgan Moses is getting up there in age. I don't know how long he's going to be here for. But he has also been teammates with Jared Wilson. So that bond, that connection would fit in perfectly for the New England Patriots. I think he'd be a perfect fit, and I think he'd be available for the Pats to increase that offensive line at pick 30, 31, 32, one of those three spots. But go lock that in. Go look up the players I just talked about. All right, I'm just going to say Leaf. Shout out to you, my guy. Should we get Kyle Williams more involved on the offense? I agree 1,000% we should get Kyle Williams involved. Why? Because right now, Matt Collins is on IR, and you don't have a deep threat besides Kayshon Boutte. And Kayshon Boutte has been a little quiet as of late. But with Kyle Williams, he's a speed demon. He can hit 23 miles per hour, and we have seen over and over and over again just the connection. When Drake Maye throws the ball deep, he can catch passes. I think you need to get him the ball more often because right now he only has like 8 catches on the season and like 3 touchdowns. Get him the ball more, man. Start throwing it deep to him, but also start going those crossing routes too. Please, 100% get Kyle Williams more involved. Oh, it's me, Joe. Hey, Bader. Hey, Bader. Are you concerned with the Chargers offense at all? No. My impressions are terrible. But I want to say no, but a little bit slightly. And the other reason is because they have really good wide receivers and a really good quarterback. And what do I mean by that is, well, the Chargers wide receivers are better, well, mostly better than the Patriots. Ladd McConkey is one of the best wide receivers in football. Keenan Allen's up there in age. They got their veteran presence. They got their young guy. And then Quentin Johnston, I can't wait to see it. Mark this down, quote it, clip it, whatever. It's going to be a crucial third down for the Chargers, like 3rd and 6. Quentin Johnston's going to be open because we run his zone coverage, and he's going to drop a crucial third down. He's great, but he can't hold on to the football. But the reason why I'm really not worried about this is because of their offensive line. And I looked at the PFF grades over and over and over. And you probably can't see this because it's very, very blurry and very small. But if you pause the video and you look at each and every one of the Chargers' offensive line, it's awful. Awful. They are like 34th, 35th, 36th, 31. They're all bad. And when you're going up against Milton Williams, Christian Barmore, Harold Landry, and K'Lavon Chaisson, you're going to have a very, very, very long day. So if you ask me, no, I'm not that concerned about the Chargers offense. If you can get to the quarterback, it's going to be an easy, very easy day for the Patriots. So I honestly think they're going to win. I think they're going to win. Very, very simple. You go down in the comment section and you let me know. Going to get to your more questions in just a second, but first I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard, but in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every single weekend and elite hoops action almost every night, the action never stops, and Prize Picks lets you take control. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less than 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you could cash in. And we got a new feature. Prize Picks now offers early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. I got a lineup for this weekend's games, and they're all on Sunday. So when I post this on Saturday, you don't got to worry about the games that have already happened. I got the more on Trevor Lawrence at 230.5 passing yards. I'm going to trash talk this guy right here every single day. Complete a pass in the second half, Jalen Hurts. Until then, I'm going with the less. And then Ramondre Stevenson, give me the more on that one. He's going to go for 70. 38.5 rushing yards. Yeah, I'm going the more. You can make a lineup just like that when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Mike Nintendo Master. How we doing, my guy? What's good? Appreciate your rankings every single week. What do the Patriots need to do to win Sunday? Well, specifically what they need to do is score fast and score quickly. They go out to a opening start, opening drive, touchdown, go up 14-0 because the Los Angeles Chargers are not built to come back down. They have to be up at all times. You saw what they did against the Houston Texans. The Texans went out to a quick 14-0 lead off of 2 bombs, and the Chargers could not come back from that. They don't have a good enough team. Their offensive line isn't good enough. Their running backs, Amari and Hampton, is still hurt. And then their defense, I mean, if you could go down in the comments and name me some of their players besides Derwin James and besides Khalil Mack, please do that for me because I don't know. So if you can go down in the comment section and prove me wrong, go right ahead. But I don't think their team is that talented enough to go and beat this Patriots team. Get to the quarterback and score fast. That's it. Ramstein. Should we consider extending Borregales given his play? I mean, if you can extend rookies, sure. But you can't extend rookies. He is going to be here for a long time. Andy Borregales has been a great pickup by the New England Patriots, and I respect the coaching staff for sticking with him. I respect them for sticking with him because in the preseason, we saw Parker Romo hit like a 58-yarder, and we saw Andy Borregales miss not one but two kicks, and one of them was like a 42-yarder, and I was like, oh my God, this kid just lost his job. They stuck with him. And he has proven to be the right pick because guess what? Parker Romo is no longer on an NFL squad. Parker Romo actually won us the Falcons game because he missed that extra point. And, Andy Borregales had made a 59-yard field goal against the Dolphins. He has been a perfect kicker, and I got trust in him during the playoffs. But he's a rookie. He's going to be here for another 4 years until his rookie deal's up. Ask me in 4 years. Then I'll have an answer for you. The 9th episode. So if you're a Stranger Things guy, it's supposed to be dropping on Wednesday, the supposed secret episode. It's a hoax, guys. Come on. It's fraudulent. But, it's not fraudulent? Seeing Efton Chisholm in the playoffs. And that's a good question. Will we see him in the playoffs? And honestly, I think we will. He finally got his time to shine during the last couple of games. And the last couple of games, I know it's not much, but 3 catches for 75 yards, 1 touchdown. He has put in the work week in and week out, and the coaches have seen it, and they have given him a chance, and he has taken the opportunity. A flea flicker bomb for 40 yards? Love to see that. He's like a miniature Edelman coming to life, the second coming of Julian Edelman. And when you look at the Patriots wide receiver depth chart, it's not like he's going to be far down. I mean, Matt Collins is on IR. And after that, Demario Douglas, this is going to sound terrible. I think they might trade Pop because they really enjoy Efton Chisholm. But after Stephon Diggs and Kayshon Boutte and Kyle Williams, those are all kind of deep threats. And then you have Stephon Diggs, who is just a man of himself because he is our 1,000-yard receiver. Efton Chisholm is the main guy. And then the coaches, they talk about him more than ever. They talk about him better than any player that I have seen all throughout the entire season and the entire offense. And this is what Josh McDaniels had to say. He said, I'm excited and proud of the way he played in terms of his toughness and finish. Offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels said, we talk about the identity so much, and he went out there and played and embodied it with the way that he played. He's impressing Mike Vrabel. He's impressing Josh McDaniels. And you saw it when he scored his first touchdown, that every single player, offense, defense, special teams, coaches, they all went up to him and congratulated him on scoring his first touchdown because they were proud of him. They saw the work that he put in and week out, coming into the Patriots facility at 6 a.m. in the morning and not leaving until 7 p.m. The work is paying off, and I think that the Patriots are going to involve him in the offense a lot more than people think. Expect him to be sneaky. We saw it on the first drive when it was a flea flicker bomb to Efton Chisholm. And then over the middle against the Jets, 35-yard catch. Those are going to be some of the plays that we see Efton Chisholm do. And I'm excited to see the future of the undrafted free agent because he has deserved it. And also, he reminds me of Edelman so much. Show some love to Efton Chisholm. Spam your 86s down in the chat because he is turning into one of my favorite players, and I want to see him succeed. I know every single person on the Patriots wants to see him succeed and wants him to be a key contributor to this offense. That's going to do it for the latest episode of Patriots Today. Appreciate you guys asking your questions every single week. Remember, we do these mailbags live on our Wednesday live show. So you don't miss out. Hit that sub button, turn those bell notifications on, and as always, let's go Pats. Are we talking shit on the Chargers right now? Is that what I'm seeing? I saw that, Peppers. I saw people are like, well, guess what happened in the Saturday game? Didn't, quote me if I'm wrong, didn't during that Saturday game, Drake Maye go into concussion protocol in the 2024 game against the Chargers? Didn't that happen? And didn't the team just give up at that point? I'm pretty sure that's what happened last year. Because all those games bunch up together. But I know that I bet the Patriots because I was like, dude, I actually really enjoy watching Drake Maye play. And then Drake Maye scrambled, went into concussion protocol, somehow came back, but it was over by then. It was way over by then. Charlisha, I don't think I saw your question. We also did get a couple of super chats. I can answer your question right now if you retype it before we get on out of here. I don't think so. If not, it's fine. You're good. Charger City coming in here. Patriots are going to be so mad Sunday. You're going to be mad, my guy. You're going to be very mad. But Charger City, go subscribe to our new channel. Go subscribe to our new channel. Because if you're in here and you're subscribed, you're talking, that means you enjoy the Chargers. You enjoy Chat Sports. So go and subscribe right now to Chargers Now. Please do. Chris Clark, shout out to year 5. Keenan Allen went to Northern High School where I live. Thanks a lot on passing on him in the draft, Belichick. Look, Chris, we know how bad Belichick is drafting at drafting wide receivers. I mean, I know how old you are. Do you remember Chad Jackson? You remember Taylor Price? You remember Josh Boyce? Kembrell Tompkins, Aaron Dobson, the list goes on and on and on. And then the latest one that we saw with Tyquan Thornton and then N'Keal Harry. Like, sheesh. What was the guy's name? Johnson. Bethale Johnson, is that his name? I got to look that up. Bethale Johnson. Yep, wide receiver, second round pick, 2003 for the Patriots. You see, I know my shit. They're still arguing. I mean, you can argue all you want about the Chargers. Once the game comes, like, the play is going to show on the field, and the Chargers are going to be smacked. He says, I know you're trying to convince yourself that you guys are going to win. It sounds like you're convincing yourself. How could you be so confident when you can barely beat any team? Hayden, nah, he's not Offensive Rookie of the Year. Chris Clark coming in with a 2, but shout out to Cooper Noto coming in with $1. Always appreciative, my guy. Exactly, snap time. He's trying to convince himself. He's trying to convince himself that the Chargers are not going to lose. Yeah, he's trolling now. Not that one. Not that one. You see that one? Did you see? Oh, my God. It was Chris Clark's old super chat from Sunday talking about Zach Wilson and a certain person related to Zach Wilson. They can troll all they want. But shout out to you coming in with another 2. My guy. My guy, Chris. Chargers haven't been good since NC thrown me. You're aging me. Connor, what was your question before we get on out of here? What did the offense need to do to beat the Chargers, Charlisha? What they got to do is score fast. You have to get the play action involved. Because if you can get the run game involved, I've said it before, Hunter Henry's going to be wide open in the seam. He's going to be completely wide open. Charger City, I haven't seen you put up a single actual argument. All I've seen is get ready for reality. Not, oh, hey, this is why we're better. This is why we're good. The offense is going to do this. Justin Herbert has this many yards per game. When you look at his tight throw percentage, he can fit it right in the perfect spot, and the Patriots do zone coverage. I have seen nothing from you. So why should I even listen to you? Chris Clark, you're still young, brother. You're not 50. Ramstein 7 seed has beaten the 2 once. Just once. I do have to fact check you once. I do have to fact check you once. 7 seed has beaten the 2 once. Out of all the time since what, 2022? And that was the Cowboys. Your Cowboys against the Packers. That was 2023, right? 2023 season. No, that was the Chargers game. It's Chargers. The Packers game. 2024. Because the Cowboys were the 2 seed. And then Packers came in as 7 seed. And you guys went down 21-0. And then they were driving. And then Dak threw that pick. And it was a pick 6. Charger City, maybe you convince Joe Alt and Slater to come back for the playoffs. That might help too. You know, an actual player that's playing this year, an actual key contributor to your 2025 Los Angeles Chargers. Well, I'm going to not let him troll anymore because we're just going to get on out of here. Charger City, join in. And the rest of you. Well, I know you guys are all going to be here because you guys are Patriots real ones. You guys are the biggest fans of this channel, and I appreciate y'all coming in every single week in, week out. But for trolls and guys who are delusional, like Charger City, come and join us Sunday night. We're going to be going live at 6:30 Eastern Time, 90 minutes before the game kicks off. We're going to have a fun tailgate. We're going to enjoy ourselves. So don't miss out. It's our first playoff game since 2021. Our first home playoff game since 2019. And I'm not going to lie, the last 2 playoff games that the Patriots had, I haven't been confident. Against the Bills, I didn't even have it. I didn't care. I was like, we're going to get killed, which we did. And then against the Titans, deep down I knew Brady was checked out. But this year, oh, we are going to beat the living bleep out of the Chargers. You see that line? There's a reason why Vegas thinks it's going to happen. So make sure you tune in, guys. Make sure you tune in. 6:30 Eastern Time. We will be live, so make sure you sub to the channel. We'll see you on Sunday. And as always, let's go Pats.